Hello, everyone. This is me, Captain Blueberry Buckaroo, aka Lancer737, and I'm going to be visiting everyone's Equestria. And I hope you're enjoying the campaign. I was wrong about the campaign. It's not the one with the deer, it's the one with the kerns. Doesn't really make too much sense to me because it doesn't really have a St. Patrick's Day theme to it, other than there's a lot of green in the episode and technically in this campaign, but it's kind of cool. I was wanting to get the flaming I forget the name of it, but the name is flipped. I just forget how to pronounce it when it's flipped. But it looks like like a Nightmare Moon or a Daybreaker version of one of the Kerns. Uh, Funny thing is, I remember this happening last time. I had used up the last of my rubies, and when it came out, I wasn't able to get it. And so I used up most of my rubies on the backgrounds, and lo and behold, the campaign comes out of nowhere, and it's like, LOL, you're not getting this. Technically, I do have a chance to get it, though, barely. I get over 20 rubies every day, and since I did complete this and got every single tier of award, including the community one, I should be able to get enough rubies from completing the objectives to be able to barely get it, hopefully. Anyway, before I visit everyone's Equestria, I'm going to read from the Black Book first, unlike I normally do, just because my battery's kind of low, unfortunately. So here we go. This is from the Black Book. When a poor person dies of hunger, it has not happened because God did not take care of him or her. It has happened because neither you nor I wanted to give that person what he or she needed. Mother Teresa, 1910 through 1997, who stepped down as head of the Missionaries of Charity on this date in 1997. When the disciples heard this, they fell prostrate, were very much afraid. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, "Rise, and do not be afraid." Matthew 6 through 7. The transfiguration isn't just a flash in the pan. Jesus gives his disciples a glimpse of what one day shall be. The whole human race will be transformed. All creation will be transformed, luminous with the presence of God. It is not only Jesus who is transformed on this mountain. Peter, James, and John find themselves enveloped in a lustrous cloud, and they hear the voice of God. They are awestruck and don't know what to do except fall down and worship. I wonder how they tried to describe this experience to the other disciples later. It was too much for words, and yet it's only a hint of what's to come. And that is the reading from the Little Black Book for today. And so now we're going to go visit everyone's Equestria. Maybe. I actually didn't check yet to see if it's actually going to even load. This might be a very quick recording, unfortunately. I mean, I could do a little bit of pocket ponies. It apparently did load, so that's good. Um, yeah, sure, I'll receive all the gifts. That's pretty nice. Thank you, everyone, for sending that stuff. I'm sorry for the lack of sending as many gifts as I should. It's just this is the easiest way to keep track of where I have been. And the new person that just added me, if I see their thing as I'm going down, I'll quickly visit them. I didn't see any new MLP news today. I see there's a bunch of conventions closing down. I still haven't seen anything about the Ocean Pony convention that's always on a cruise ship closing down. I think it's a bad idea to go on those. The price to go on those dramatically dropped because of everything going on. It's $5 a ticket. That's not normal, and then with all the other expenses, it adds up to $300, which sounds like a lot, but for a cruise ship, that is very cheap. Not trying to sound like I'm advertising it. Excuse me. It's just how things are. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing the new person that just added me. So either the game is glitched and it's not going to show. Oh, okay, there they are. Sapphire. Oh no, that's terrible. I can't visit Sapphire, and I just added them. Well, that sucks. I'm sorry, Sapphire. But anyway, the video just came out for Bronies react to the season finale. I think I mentioned that before, but I didn't know it was going to come out immediately the day that I mentioned it. At least I don't think so. Okay. Well, this is kind of weird. There shouldn't be groupings like this. I think the thing glitched a lot. So Blue Knight's a pretty cool name. Can't go to them anyway. Can't go to them either. Peachy Cake, nope. Carrying Music, nope. Flutter Rose, of course not. Photo Cookie, nope. And Honey Cookie, that sounds kind of delicious right now. Honey Cookie. Okay, Uncle. Let's go visit Uncle. Princess Music. Berry Star. We get to visit Berry Star, and that is a cool name. Hello, Berry Star. I'm wishing you a happy St. Patrick's Day. And I hope you're having a good time at this campaign, and I wish you good luck with it. So their Equestria looks, very reminiscent of how I used to have my Ponyville. I should say Ponyville, not just Equestria. It's very chaotic, but I love all the character that the rocks add to it. It would have more if it was like Halloween and stuff. It's upsetting that they don't update the backgrounds aren't like how they used to be. They need to fix it so every place has Halloween and every place has Christmas and snow and stuff like that. So, if I were to pick a favorite spot, what would it be? Well, that spot would have to be. Let's see. I'm having a little bit of difficulty here. My favorite spot would probably have to be this one right here. Well, there's Applejack and Apple Bloom. Didn't notice that before. Looks kind of cool having, a mix of the towns with a tree that is now a house/library. Looks kind of interesting. And then, the ice cream place is right there. That's always cool. Well, anyway, Barry Star, wish you happy St. Patrick's Day. An early happy St. Patrick's Day. And good luck in the campaign. Ooh, that's not good. Looks like I'm only going to have time for a couple more. If it'll load. It's weird how my battery's almost always dying when I'm doing stuff. Well, anyone that celebrates St. Patrick's Day, if you have any plans, go ahead and post them down below. My plans, as normal for St. Patrick's Day, is to listen to lots of Irish music and then have some corned beef cabbage. It's pretty good. The beef is always normally really red, no matter how you cook it. I honestly don't know what the cut is for the corned beef and why it is exactly like that. Normally comes with seasonings. We don't use those though. Um, and then you cook it with cabbage, of course, and then potatoes, and it tastes really good. I mean, like if I'm gonna choose, I wouldn't choose it over like roast beef, but it is really good. But the thing I'm most excited for is the Irish music. I love Irish music, especially from oh great, now I forgot their name. The Rovers. The Rovers do the best Irish music. I normally have whenever I do play St. Patrick's Day theme music, it's them that makes the music. Ironically enough, um, let's see. And there's a couple of movies I'd like to watch too. The Leprechaun horror movies. Um, Also like to watch some other ones as well, like Popeye the Sailor Man. That isn't necessarily quote unquote St. Patrick's Day or Irish movie, but there are a lot of songs about being a sailor on the sea, and Popeye does a lot of that. And I love sailing. I love the ocean, as you all know. So it's a nice time to watch Popeye the Sailor Man. And then Toby and the Koala Bear. It's a sad song, but it's not exclusive to Ireland. It doesn't technically have anything to do with St. Patrick's Day, but what it does have to do with is a lot of the Irish immigrants that were forced by the United Kingdom to be colonists in Australia. They didn't want to go to Australia, but they were forced to because they were imprisoned already. And that movie is about that. A lot of them were criminals, but a lot of them were criminals for very, very petty things like they were starving and they took bread. So that was justification to lock them up and then send them to Australia, which is a terrible thing. Um, Royalty in the United Kingdom at that point had gone insane. The king, believe it or not, this is a medical condition. He had a condition that's also known as the werewolf disease. Now, he didn't change into a wolf or anything, but it did cause madness. And like the reason they would call it the werewolf disease is because they wouldn't, keep themselves well kept, so their hair would grow out longer and their nails would grow out longer, and that's kind of what they would think of as a werewolf. And then with them acting nuts, you can kind of see why they would be like, that's the werewolf disease. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why also the United States had a rebellion against the United Kingdom, or at that time it would have been just the 13 colonies. And he just went insane, and they were just taxing them over the stupidest of things, including individual pieces of paper, individual playing cards, trying to take their food, weapons, and stuff like that. And then they just got tired of it. Now, anyway, we're going to Violet Night, and that's a very cool name. Or not, of course. Joe Cookie. We get to go visit Joe Cookie. Happy St. Patrick's Day, or sorry, happy early St. Patrick's Day, Joe Cookie. Don't forget to add Joe Cookie. Their code is right next to their name. Here you go. And so, it's almost got a donut look to it. Actually, you know what? This looks very familiar. I don't think it should. Okay, it looks similar, but it's not a place I have been to before. I was a little bit concerned that the game was screwing up. This looks really cool right here. That's almost my favorite spot. Kind of reminds me of the Castle of Saruman and Lord of the Rings, to a small degree. In fact, just looking at that probably is my favorite spot. But it's very well organized while going around the center of the map. I like it. This might be my favorite place of today, but definitely, yeah, this spot right here is my favorite spot. Anyway, Joe Cookie, I hope you have a lot of good luck in the campaign that just came out, and I like your place, and I'll see you later. Gonna go to one more place. It seems like always, 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 always something happens, and the battery's very low while I'm doing this. I swear I'm not doing very much with this phone, but whatever. So, what can I talk about now? Um, Not much, I guess. There's no new news for MLP. There's not really any new news for anything else. And, well, I just hope everyone is prepared for the illness that's spreading. Um, what I would do is have a reserve of water and food for at least a month. Have stuff prepared if you don't have power. Like in my case, I have tons and tons and tons of extra charcoal if I need to cook on the grill food that I normally wouldn't have to cook on the grill. And just in case, I have a bunch of lint. I take a lot of lint from the dryer and I store it in a baggie, in a safe spot, of course. And I'll use the small bits of it for fire starting, for campfires and stuff like that. If the need arises that you need something like that. And it would also be helpful to have lots of extra batteries for lamps and lights that and flashlights that you have around the house. Um, Lots of extra coats and blankets and stuff like that, and especially some kept in safe places, that just in case like something happens to where you live and you're exposed to elements, it doesn't get cold and wet from rain and snow and stuff like that, because you never know what could happen. Not trying to scare anyone, but like I said, I don't want anyone to get sick or be in a bad situation. Best stuff to get for emergency supplies is stuff that is canned, or like rations, because if the power goes out, then like all the meat that you have stored up, or things that require refrigeration or being frozen, it's just going to go to waste really fast. um so I have tons and tons of canned salmon and tuna and spam. I never had spam before, but it's there just in case. And I have tons of hickory smoked beef sticks that don't require refrigeration until they're open, unfortunately. But um, there's things you can do to keep things preserved or cold without having to have a refrigerator. Um, yeah, I never thought I'd have to talk about this during a MLP game, but I'm really sorry. A lot of things are just. I'm upset because like some places I really like are going. I don't want anyone to get sick, but like I'm especially attached to Italy, and it just is upsetting what's happening in Italy. Anyway, I'm gonna try to not talk about that too much. I don't want to make this a depressing video more so than it is when having to scroll for 5,000 years to get anywhere. Okay, here we go. Queen. Let's see if we get to visit Queen. No. Cocoa cookie. That sounds really, really good right now. Out of all the cookie names I heard, if that was an actual cookie, I would want to have that right now. Probably would just basically be a brownie in the shape of a cookie, but I don't care. Speedy Days. Another Violet Night. That's, again, a very cool name. And that's weird that we get to visit it again. Happy early St. Patrick's Day Violet Night. So, again, this place is very chaotic, but it has a lot of character because of how things are positioned and all the different rocks and terrain that's left unkept. But like, I'm not kidding. I think it looks really cool. And they have Fluttershy. Not exactly done up like the one I have, but she looks pretty nice. Um, Man, I'm just going back to what I was saying. I miss having all the Halloween decor over all the rocks, and it would look really cool having jack o' lanterns right next to all the elements. I miss that so much. Everyone's in line to see Trixie, apparently. Uh, so, if I were to pick a favorite spot here, it would definitely have to be this. There's just something cool about Sugar Cube Corner having three lakes next to it. So, like, you can go and, like, relax and buy some, I don't know, some if it were me, it would be like hickory smoked brownies that have a blueberry lemon sauce on it with ice cream and chocolate syrup and walnuts, and then go on a boat and just hang out in the lake. Maybe watch for raptors that like to fish, and then watch for frogs. I love frogs, and toads are pretty cool, and amphibians. Anyway, I think that's it for today, just because how low my battery is, which I am sorry for. And I wish everyone good luck and a happy St. Patrick's Day, early St. Patrick's Day. And just stay safe, and I'll talk to you all later.